Hey guys, I'm Steph and welcome back to my beauty stash. Today I'm going to be creating two looks using one of the new Huda Beauty Wild Obsessions eyeshadow palettes. This beauty right here, this is the Jaguar palette. Let me give you guys a closer look. This is a new 9-pan palette that was just released yesterday. Yesterday was August the 17th. Now in my last video, which was using this new palette right here, this one is the Python palette, you guys reminded me that there were actually 4 new Huda Beauty Wild Obsessions palettes that were released. However, I know I only said 3 and I only showed you guys 3 because there was only 3 that actually came to Sephora. And when I was making that little collage, I was like, wait a minute, I thought there was 4, but then since I didn't see 4, I thought, oh, I'm probably just remembering wrong. So that's why I just showed 3. But there's actually a 4th one, and I'm gonna put the picture of it here. I believe this one is called the Tiger palette. This is the one that is not available at Sephora. I believe you can only find this one if it's not already sold out on the Huda Beauty website. But there are 3 other palettes that should be in stock right now at Sephora. This one from my last video, this is Python. This was one of them. And then of course the Jaguar palette, which we'll be going over today, should also be available on Sephora's website. Each palette retails for $29 and you do get 9 shades. And of course the palette comes with a mirror in this nice, pretty sturdy plastic packaging. And you do have a little bit of a holographic effect on all of the palettes because even the Python palette has that holographic effect to it. So I'm really excited to be diving into this color story. For me, this is exactly the color story that I would expect from Huda Beauty, but I didn't expect this Python palette. So I was super glad, super excited to see Huda Beauty release a color story like this because I definitely think it was something that was missing in the collection. So I will have this video linked up above and probably in a pinned comment as well in case you want to check out this video first before continuing to watch this one. I was just gonna make one video showcasing both palettes, but I decided, you know what? Some of you might only be interested in Python and some of you might only be interested in Jaguar. So I'm really excited to be diving into this Jaguar palette. I haven't even swatched this yet, so it's gonna be a total first impression. If you guys wanna see how this new Huda Beauty Wild Obsessions Jaguar palette is going to perform, keep on watching. And in case you all are wondering, I will have the rest of the makeup that I am using, both on and off camera, linked in the description box of this video. Some of those links might be affiliate links, so if you do end up purchasing, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. I've already primed my eyelids using the ABH Eyeshadow Primer, so I am ready to dive into this Jaguar palette. I thought this was a really pretty color story. Even though I love colorful makeup, there was just something that was drawing my attention in this palette, and actually in both palettes. That's why I only picked up these 2. So let's start first. I'm gonna go in with this shade and I'm kind of just gonna use it around the brow bone, and then we'll work into deepening up the look with some of the other shades. So I'm gonna take this on a BK Beauty 203. And I'm just gonna apply it right up here. I'm gonna bring it down right here in the inner corner as well. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here and I'm gonna start working that in the crease. And I'm using a BK Beauty 201. Now there is a little bit of kick up in the pan with this. You can kind of see it right there. That doesn't bother me, but definitely want to mention it in case some of you are curious. And I did experience that with the Python palette. Not terribly, you know, but a little bit is there. All right, so I really like the way this shade blended out. This is a very good start to a nice smoky eye. What do you guys think? I like it. I like the shade. I think that shade is really pretty. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with the black shade and I'm going to build that up on the outer corner. I'm going to start bringing that into the crease, kind of just deepen up the crease with it. And I'm taking the shade on a rephr 14. Probably going to be winging this out a little bit as well. Going upwards. Now this black isn't the blackest of blacks that I've worked with, but it's fine. This black reminds me a lot of the black that is in the new Natasha Denona Mini Xenon palette. So if you've worked with that palette before, just know that this black shade is going to be very similar to that. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and I am going to take that on a damp Morphe M124 brush. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I'm just going to use the opposite side of the brush, and I am going to spray that shade as well. I'm going back in with that black shade just to kind of redefine this outer corner. Now what I want to do is I want to pick up a little bit of this gold shade right here. And that's what it looks like. I'm going to apply that to the center. Ooh, that looks nice. I like the gunmetal shades mixed in with a little bit of gold. I think that looks so pretty. I think I'm also going to use this shade. Look, it almost has like a green effect. I think I'm going to use this shade in the inner corner as well. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and I'm going to work that along the lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the matte black closer to the lower lash line. And I'm using a rephr 26. Probably going to use the same brush for both shades. It's a very versatile brush. One of my favorite brushes from rephr. Can do so many things with it. Now I'm picking up a little bit of the black. And I'm going to keep that really close. Add a little bit more to this outside corner as well. Now I'm taking that gold shade on a damp rephr 03. Just going to be bringing this down and building it up right here in that inner corner. All right, guys, I like the way this came out, but let me add some liner mascara and I will be right back to show you all the completed look. All right, guys, so this is look number 1 with the new Wild Obsessions Jaguar palette. What do you guys think? I did go in with some falsies today, and that's because I have some Huda Beauty lashes. These are the Hoodie number 23 lashes. Let me show you what the other one looks like so you can see it in there. I've only worn these once. This is my second time to wear them, and for me, these are really dramatic. But I think they look great with this eye look. What do you guys think? And then I did add, of course, my usual Wet n Wild Breakup Proof liquid liner to the top lash line. And for the lower waterline, I went in with the LA Girl one. This one is in the shade Blackout. This is one of those shockwave liners. Really love these. If you've never checked out these LA Girl shockwave liners, they have neon, metallic, of course, black, white. They're really, really good, really affordable eyeliners to check out. They are online at Ulta Beauty. I also think they have them in stores too, but really good liners. I really love the combination of the gold with the gunmetal. I kind of like mixing those metals. Never used to like to mix silver with gold and all of that, but now I do, and you can tell right here from my earrings I have gold and silver going on. But this was a nice look. I think it was fairly easy to achieve this look. I didn't get any fallout either when applying these shimmer shades, but there's definitely kick up in the pan both with the matte and the shimmers. All right guys, let's jump over to the left eye and start creating look number 2. Okay, so for look number 2, I definitely want to use this center shade right here. This is kind of like a lavender purplish shade. And then I would also like to use this one down here as well, just so that we can make sure we use all of the shades. And then we haven't used this one either. So let's just start with this one. I'm going to start working this into the crease. And I'm taking this on a Sigma E38. Now, in using both of these palettes, the Python and now the Jaguar, I haven't experienced any lack of pigmentation. I feel like all of the shades are pretty pigmented, and they do seem to all blend out fairly well. So that I do like. I'll be honest, I was a little nervous with these palettes just because it had been so long that I don't pick up a one of these Obsessions palettes, like these smaller palettes. And I had heard, you know, mixed reviews on the quality of them. So at first I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just get one. And then I saw this one and I was like, well, I like that color story too. So it'd be nice to have like a colorful palette and then like a neutral palette to create a couple videos with. So that's what I ended up doing. The Chameleon palette is the other one that's available at Sephora. I didn't get that one, and I do mention this in the first video, the Python video, because I felt like some of the shades were overlapping, both in these two palettes that I picked up. So that's why I was like, no, I think I'll be okay without that one, and just wanted to focus on these other two. But so far, it's been a good experience. It's been a good experience with both palettes. Haven't really run into any major issues or anything like that. And right now, this shade is blending out just fine. Now I'm gonna go in with the matte black. And again, I'm just gonna work this on the outer portion just to really deepen up the look. Like, we're just going for it today, guys. Like, these are gonna be smoky eyes. And that's why I picked up the palette also, because this is the perfect palette for creating those fall, winter, smoky eyes with. I think the shades are perfect. Like, the whole all the palettes, actually, that she released, they're like the perfect transition palettes into fall and winter. Like, there's a little bit of everything. There's definitely something that you can take with you in the spring and summer. Definitely something that you might want to reserve for fall and winter, which I think this palette is definitely a fall and winter palette. But like I've always said, makeup knows no season. You wear whatever shades you want, whenever you want. All right, let me go in with this shade next. And I'm using that same Morphe M124. Let's see, I'm gonna try my finger. Not getting. This shade is just okay. I was expecting it to be a little deeper. Looks a little sheer to me. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. Oh, that one's pretty. Definitely like this one more than I liked that last one. This shade kind of looks maybe a little duochrome. Like, I definitely see like a purple and pink shift in it. That's pretty. This is a really pretty shade. Now for the lower lash line, What do we want to do? I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Let's start first with that one, and then I might do a shimmer on the lower lash line. We'll see. I'm using a rephr 26. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to try this shade. I'm going to see if I can kind of pack it on to the lower lash line. And I'm using a damp rephr 02. But I don't think that's giving me the effect I was looking for. All right, that shade really didn't do what I was expecting it to do. The shade is definitely more of like a topper shade, so I'm kind of just going over it with this matte brown, the first shade I laid down, because yeah, that shimmer shade is definitely a topper shade. So I think it's gonna look a lot better over maybe the matte black. I don't necessarily know you're gonna get a lot of payoff just using it on its own. That's why I was a little disappointed with it. For the inner corner, I'm gonna go back in with this shade right here. This shade is really pretty. I think this is one of my favorite shades in this palette. All right, guys, let me add some liner and the other lash, and I'll be right back to show you all the completed look. All right, guys, so this is look number 2 with the Jaguar palette. What do you guys think? I like it. I don't know which one is my favorite. I'm kind of liking the first one better than I like this one. This one is definitely more dramatic. I took the dark brown shade up really close to my eyebrow there, higher than I did this side, but I kind of like shaped them the same. I kind of added that little wing with the shadow, and of course with the liner. I did add the other Huda Beauty Hoodie number 23 lash, and then for the lower waterline, I went in with one of my favorites, the NYX Epic Wear eyeliner in the shade Frosted Lilac. Love these Epic Wear liners, just the way I love the LA Girl liners. I really love the NYX Epic Wear liners just as much. And this is the look we got. I will say that this look between the two palettes gave me the most fallout. And I think that was just because I was struggling with that first purple shimmer shade, and I kind of tried to put it on the lower lash line. It didn't really work. So this was the eye that gave me the most fallout. Not too bad. Like, I was able to wipe it off, but just throwing that out there. Between the two palettes, I got more fallout with the Jaguar versus the Python. But let's wrap up today's video, guys. Let me give you all my final thoughts over the Wild Obsessions Jaguar eyeshadow palette. So let's discuss this Jaguar palette from Huda Beauty. This is definitely a cool tone, neutral, very smoky eyeshadow palette. You do get those 9 shades. There are 4 matte shades and 5 shimmer shades. I think the color story is really pretty. And like I told you guys earlier, I think this is a really nice transition into fall and winter eyeshadow palette. Is this a unique color story? Probably not. I'm pretty sure that you guys have some, if not all of these shades mixed in with your other eyeshadow palettes. I think this is a typical Huda Beauty color story, Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette, which I don't mind. Like I told you guys earlier and in my previous video, I didn't have any of these Obsessions palettes. I only had that one, which was a very colorful one from way back in the day when she initially released them, and I don't even think I have it anymore. So it was nice adding the Jaguar and the Python palette to my stash. And since I didn't have a palette like this from her brand, I might have it in another brand if I go look, but that had this specific color story. That's what I was drawn to. That's why I decided to pick this one up, just to try it out and just to kind of give you guys another option in case you didn't necessarily like all of the shades in the Python palette. I definitely wanted to pick something up for all of you neutral lovers, smoky eye fans out there. So this one is for you. At $29, I do think it is a fair price point given the category that Huda Beauty is in. I think the quality and performance of the shades is just fine. The only shade that gave me a little bit of trouble was this one right here. I think that this is more of a topper shade. I definitely think if you lay down, like let's say you do all black on the lid and then go in with this on top of it and try to use your finger, I think you're gonna see that it's gonna give you more payoff. You're gonna see more of the pigment that way versus the way I did, where I was kind of placing it on the black but then not really because I didn't have anything on that part of my lid. I definitely think it's a shade that's going to pop on top of a matte shade, so just keep that in mind. I really liked this shimmer shade, actually all of them I really liked with the exception of this one. I thought that the shade in the middle, this was a beautiful shade, as were these two gunmetal shades. This one is darker than this one. This is the more silver tone one, and then when you add the gold to it like I did on this, I loved it. I thought it was really, really pretty. Again, the matte black is not the richest, not the deepest matte black, but for somebody like me of a fair to light skin tone, it was perfect because I could build into my desired pigmentation. I thought these other two matte shades and also this matte shade, perfect. No problems blending them out. I definitely think this was my favorite matte shade though out of all of them. I really liked how it transitioned onto my lid. This is a really nice cool tone, kind of like a grayish purple shade, perfect for creating a smoky eye look with. Overall, guys, it's a pretty solid little neutral palette. I do love the packaging on these. I think the packaging is really cute. I'm glad I have it in my stash. I know I will definitely get some wear out of it. I think for me, this just screams fall and winter especially. Now, if you want me to choose my favorite between the two palettes, I don't think you need to ask. Those of you who have been on my channel a while, you all know that I'm gonna give it to Python. And actually, I had more fun working with this one than I did with this one. Not that this is not a good palette, it is, but I love colorful makeup. So I was really happy to see this in Huda Beauty's line just because we see this a lot. We don't always see this. So this one is my favorite, but not because of performance. I think they're both pretty solid performers and I'm happy. I'm happy because I have seen and heard so many mixed reviews on her smaller eyeshadow palettes that for me, I went in with an open mind, I went in with high expectations, and I wasn't disappointed with either of them. Definitely leave me a comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and also let me know which one you are picking up. Maybe you're gonna be picking up both of these, or maybe you're just gonna pick up one. I definitely love to hear your thoughts on which one you like best, and which one has piqued your interest, or actually, maybe none of them did. Leave it all in the comment section down below. I wanna thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.